Schooling in 3 counties of northern eastern Kenya has been paralyzed, affecting thousands of students after numerous teachers declined to return to the region after 23 of their colleagues were killed by Somali's Al-Shabaab militia group.
The Mandera County attacks hit me directly because they are my colleagues who perished. And the reason as to why it hit me more than any other attack in the country is because of the profiling that took place. Everybody on board in that bus was ordered to get out, and all non-Muslims who were in the bus were killed at point blank. But at the same time, I was mourning a friend of mine who was shot dead 10 minutes after I walked out of my house in Wajir.
A total of 920 teachers have failed to report back to their respective schools in Mandera, Garissa and Wajir counties for fear of their lives and constant harassment from the hostile community.
After the attack and the killing of Kenyans, 24 teachers, 3 medical personnel and the police officer on the 22nd, we undertook to interrogate teachers on matters in security in Northeastern. But we discovered that there were other huge issues, workplace issues, social issues within the community that have persisted and have gone unreported over the years. And therefore, insecurity is not the only key issue. There are other issues. And when we discovered that there were other professional challenges, both affecting them at the workplace and also at the community, we went further to take statements from teachers, to interrogate, to narrow down to the facts, and we've developed a credible report, and no one has come out to challenge it. And indeed, matters like sexual harassment, especially of female teachers, by even students, are real, and I've personally dealt with such cases in the past. Matters of assault of teachers by students are real, because I don't think innocent teacher can lie. My experience as a trade unionist is that a teacher cannot lie. These are matters of evidence which are also supported by police documents, pictures of injured teachers, and these are real. Teachers have endured.
Schools were supposed to reopen on January 5th, but the resumption was delayed due to a teacher's strike.
I've been serving northeastern part of the country, and I so respected the fact that it's part of the country that I love most. That is Garissa, Wajir and Mandera have the longest borderline with the country. And the people in Kenya, the Somalis in Kenya, the Kenyan Somalis, have their neighbors in Somalis. The attacks that have always been happening in the country have never been happening in my neighboring country, Ethiopia, despite the fact that Ethiopia shares a lot of similarities with the country, with our country. I see there is some loophole in the people that I serve in Northeastern, for they may not be willing to share the information of what is happening. We get people crossing over from their side who share same race, and they do attacks in Kenya and walk back. They are like, they look similar, they talk same language, a similarity with Ethiopia. But we've never heard of such attacks in Ethiopia, whereby Ethiopian locals share information. You can hardly get into Ethiopia without being noticed and sent to the authorities. So the people that I'm serving in Northeastern know who the attackers are without any fear of contradiction.
Since 2011, northeastern Kenya, which shares a border with Somalia, has witnessed a series of attacks by Al-Shabaab. Exploiting the long and porous border, Al-Shabaab has mainly carried out limited grenade and shooting attacks on northern towns.
One day in the evening, there was a rumor that some of them were there. So one of the villagers came and told us that, okay, they usually revere them as their brothers. Sometimes they call them Waubiri. You know, they told us they're around there. So we should make sure that we sleep early enough. We should not talk. Then, because it was in the evening, we looked for the deputy and teacher, because I remember very well that day the head teacher was not there. So after we talked with the deputy, we tried to reach the policemen in the headquarters. Okay, our place from Masabubu to Bura, it's around 16 kilometers. So Masabubu, there is a great problem of network. We searched for it, and by 8 p.m., sorry, we were able to reach at least some of the policemen. The deputy called them. They kept on telling us they are coming. Finally, they told us they were fearing that when they come for us or they come to protect us, there will be an ambush as they come or as we go back with them. So they told us to just find a way out. We go spend with the community members. They were Somalis until the following day. So we tried our best. And I tell you, it was not all that good, because they kept on taking us from one house to another, telling us it's not safe there. And all the men were not in those houses. They usually, when Al-Shabaabs are there, they usually spend their time in the bush during the night. Women and children are left at homes because I believe they don't kill women. So we spend there the whole night struggling. You know the kind of houses which are there, the traditional ones. There are no doors. So even though you are inside, you cannot even say that you are safe. In the morning, we confronted the teacher came in the morning. So we tried to tell him what was the problem, but before even we could give him tell him what was happening, the members of the clan around there, they had already confused him that they were just rumors. In fact, they were very bitter about the lady who told us about the case. So the teacher told us it's not possible, we cannot move from that place. Then we had to find it. We had to go by ourselves. In fact, we took na tukaenda nyumbani. After some days, now the office started threatening us. You have to come back. You are telling us there are Al-Shabaabs here, there is nobody. After 1.5 weeks, we had to go back to work. But no policemen, nobody. Until today.
Classes eventually resumed on January 19th, and teachers in the north were expected to report back to their schools 2nd of February after security arrangements had been made. But non-indigenous teachers never came back, complaining of rampant insecurity in the region.
The current situation about teachers in insecure areas, it is not only Mandera, it's Garissa, it's Wajir, Kapedo, and other areas which have not been very prominent. The teachers have been here since schools resumed on 19th of January, and they've been picketing at the Teacher Service Commission every day, and that is a right provided for them in the Constitution, and every teacher is expected to be on duty. If they're not in their working stations, they must be at the employers, and the employer must know their whereabouts. And that is why every morning, 8 o'clock, as expected for any professional worker or professional teacher, they must report at the Teacher Service Commission until 5 o'clock. And essentially that means majority of the teachers in Northeastern have not resumed duty, and therefore learning has not resumed in the said insecure areas.
10 days after this unfortunate incident, another attack saw the killing of 36 quarry workers by the insurgents. These senseless killings based on misplaced beliefs saw teachers and other civil servants, mostly non-Muslim, pack their bags and flee, vowing never to return.
First of all, the insecurity problem. Most of our friends were killed. I even lost a boyfriend in the Mandera attack. And for me to go, the boyfriend is the one who took me to the school. How should I go back to the school? And yet, I mean, he's resting. So I should be there at home and be there with him. In my heart, I know that my fiancé is there at home. So I should be transferred to home so that I can stay there with him. Because he took me to Northeastern, and when he was coming back home, he died.
An emergency meeting was convened by the government in Nairobi on Wednesday, 28th January 2015, to address the issue. This has seen the Kenyan National Union of Teachers Secretary General Wilson Sosion differ with this situation and instead stand in solidarity with the teachers.
But we are saying, don't force any teacher. A teacher who wants to go back, that is voluntary. But those who want to be transferred, let them be. Because when you talk about funerals of 38 teachers, statistically there is a likelihood that all the teachers teaching in Northeastern have attended those funerals and have seen mutilated bodies of their colleagues. And with that experience, these teachers are traumatized enough. Psychologists have advised that these teachers require minimum of 6 months of counseling so that they can come out of their trauma.
Besides insecurity, the union has also complained about alleged discrimination, sexual harassment, and the forced conversion to Islam of non-indigenous teachers.
This kind of unnecessary molestation for quite too long, and it has not been reported. If you check records of the Teacher Service Commission, the level of interdiction of teachers in these areas is very high. And these are young teachers. They still need to grow in their profession, but somebody is very busy spoiling their files. And spoiling somebody's file is as good as spoiling somebody's career. There are allegations of mistreatment by the management. And this, we want the truth to come to service. If indeed the principals and head teachers are also contributing to the same, that is a bad professional practice.
Even as the Teacher Service Commission and the Interior Cabinet Secretary assures the teachers from the 3 counties that security measures have been put in place, the more than 1,000 teachers say the area is still prone to terror attacks, hence need for them to be moved and replaced to other areas.
We have to accept the realities. And when handling matters to do with security, we have to be very sincere. We don't want Kenya to get into what is happening in northern Nigeria. Our Principal Secretary, Minister of Education, Belio Kipsang, recently said this, that over 40% of the people that are in Northeastern, especially Mandera, are not Kenyans. More than 40 students that are in schools in Mandera are not Kenyans. So there comes the reality that they also know that there's a problem when it comes to issues to do with insecurity. Wajir, Mandera, it's almost a half, it's almost a quarter of the whole country. And the forces that are there, honestly speaking, they are not enough.